Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Thursday morning. It's Stephen Whiteside here from theuptrend.com. Well, today is the last trading day of the week. The market is going to be closed tomorrow for Good Friday. We do have a couple of economic numbers coming out at 8:30 this morning that could help change the direction of the market. So far, we've got a mixed picture. We do have a disturbance in the force this morning, and that has a lot to do with one Dow 30 stock. The rest of the market looks like it wants to do a little buying on Thursday morning. United Healthcare is in the news this morning. It was probably the best performing stock up until yesterday. If you were long United Healthcare, you've had lots of chances to lock in profits along the way. And if you still have a partial position left, which you probably should, we are currently trading down to the 470 level, which is quite a dramatic pullback for this stock. Of course, we're waiting for the first close below the lower channel line, so we really don't care what it opens at, and we don't care what it closes at this afternoon, unless it closes below the 556 level up here. And more than likely it will do that, and then we will take action on Monday morning and liquidate the remainder of our position. Now, on Friday mornings, I usually like to print off some weekly charts just to see how the market's doing on a longer term basis. Of course, we're not going to do that tomorrow because we're not going to be working tomorrow. So here's the TSX for the week, up 2.2%. That has a lot to do with crude oil stabilizing, but more to do with the price of gold, which is up over another $100 this week. Of course, the price of gold can certainly help or hurt the Canadian market. Really doesn't have much to do with the U.S. market. There's the U.S. market, the S&P 500, the NASDAQ, and the Russell 2000 all having inside weeks, weeks of indecision, pause weeks. We're down 1.63% for the S&P 500, 2.31% for the NASDAQ 100, and just 0.18% for the Russell 2000. So fairly quiet trading there. Again, we're trying to break out of the previous week's range to tell us which way we're going next. And so far, we haven't done that. So we'll just have to wait until next week to see if that gets resolved. Now, the US dollar index, it continues to trade lower here. We didn't take out the previous low just yet, but certainly you're not seeing a lot of buying in the US dollar index. Then we've got bonds trading higher this week, bond yields pulling back a bit. That would certainly be a positive sign for the market if bond prices could keep rising and bond yields could keep falling. We'll just have to see if that continues into next week. Now, the VIX started to move down the other day. It has come back into the channel for the S&P 500. For the NASDAQ and the Russell, still waiting for a sell signal here, so no confirmation that the market's going to move higher from here. Looking at the major index ETFs for the iShares for the TSX 60, we're down 2 cents yesterday, while the Vanguard Canada ETF was up 3 cents on the day. So we do have an open gap there on both the charts. So the market's still dealing with that gap. That could top the this particular move in the market. We'll just have to wait and see. Now, the energy sector was up nicely yesterday, up nearly 2%. Not enough to give us a buy signal, but certainly enough to help hold up the Canadian stock market. And then we had gold stocks continue to move higher, up on 1.78% on the day, making a new high. Now, the U.S. market, not so lucky. We had a pullback in the Dow, the S&P 500, the equal weighted, the NASDAQ 100, the equal weighted, the next generation, the Russell 2000, the small caps, micro caps, all down on the day. So no change in trend there. Semiconductors were down over 3% on the day. So still on a sell signal, no change. We had a pullback in financials, but the banks held up fairly well, down just a little over 0.25% on the day. And then the Magnificent Seven was one of the biggest losers of the day, down nearly 4%. So no change in trend there, still on a sell signal. Moving on to the TSX Most Actives from Wednesday's trading action, we had Canadian Natural Resources trade up into the channel, so a close above $40 on Thursday would give us a buy signal. Still on a buy signal for the TD Bank. Looking at Cenovus, we need to close above 17.13 on Thursday. Not expecting that to happen. Could certainly see a buy signal for the Royal Bank with a close above $160.86 on Thursday. That would join Enbridge already on a buy signal. We already have TC Energy on a buy signal. Again, I'm not too excited about taking buy signals at the moment. If I was going to take one, I wouldn't buy a full position. I'd wait for another confirmation to add to that position. There's Baytech, nothing going on there. New high for B2 Gold yesterday. Our next price target was $4.88. We hit that target. And of course, I always tell people to put your orders in just a little below those targets, because if we look at the next stock, which is IM Gold, our next target was 1172. We only got up to 1163 yesterday. So even if I had put my order in at 1169, I wouldn't have got filled yesterday. So hold on, we may be able to get filled on Thursday. Looking at Suncor, no joy there. 46.88 is our price target at the moment. We closed at 46.86. So just 2 cents below that level. That is still on a sell signal. No change in trend there for Suncor. Looking at Air Canada, looking for a close on Thursday above $14.17 to give us a buy signal. We closed at $14.02 on Wednesday. Let's finish off this morning's presentation, taking a look at the U.S. most actives and starting off with NVIDIA. NVIDIA did trade below the lower channel line yesterday, but did not close below it. So on Thursday, we're looking for a close below $102.60. No joy for Ford, still on a sell signal. We still have Palantir on a buy signal. No change in trend there. No change in trend for Tesla. Tesla's still on a sell signal here. We did get a buy signal recently, but I said to wave it off until the next close above the upper channel line. That still has not happened. No joy for Intel from Wednesday's trading action. Lucid is back on a sell signal as of Wednesday's close. No joy for American Airlines, looking for a close on Thursday above $10.28. Again, another stock that popped recently, and we waved off that buy signal, looking for some follow through to the upside, which has failed to materialize. Ambev back on a buy signal as of Wednesday's close. New high for B2 Gold on Wednesday. Our next price target was $352. We got as high as $351 yesterday. So I would have had an order in at $349, and that would have got filled. Looking at Advanced Micro Devices, no joy there. Still on a sell signal. Still on a sell signal for Apple, and still on a sell signal for Bank of America as of Wednesday's close. Okay, folks, that is all for this morning's presentation. So far, it looks like a fairly mixed open on Thursday morning. Typically, coming into a long weekend, the market has a bullish bias to it, but with what's going on with United Healthcare this morning, that might not be the case today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy your weekend. If you're a member, next time you'll hear my voice will be on Sunday. And we're going to wrap everything up tonight. So we should have all the daily, weekly, monthly charts posted on Thursday night, hopefully before midnight.
Thanks for tuning in until the very end of today's stock market timing educational video. If you found the content valuable, don't forget to express your support by hitting the like button, leave a comment, sharing with your friends, and subscribing to our channel for more insightful updates. Remember, in the world of stocks, timing is crucial, and following the trend can be your greatest ally. If you would like more information on how we can help you better time the stock market, please visit theuptrend.com.